Is this a direct caption from Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
You
Direct.
know, this gives Ben Affleck and Jen
Yo.
like from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like that wasn't meant to be public, but like I'm sorry, baby. Like it
Yo,
what?
babe, I'm sorry.
It's the Pop Report. So juicy.
Well, well, well. Look who got new glasses.
Hello. Are those new glasses? Those aren't new glasses. They look
They're new
like your old
glasses.
glasses.
Are you kidding?
They look exactly the same as your old glasses.
I thought you said girl glasses, and I was like, first of all, gender me one more time. Second of all, they're very similar to my old glasses. They're just gold in a different shape.
They look exactly the same.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Glad. I'm happy you have this new look.
Newfound
I
voice.
almost didn't recognize you.
I almost didn't recognize you with the shaved sides and fresh volume.
It was summer. I felt like I needed a fresh summer vibe.
Ugh. I feel like it's summer, but it's not. And I'm upset.
It feels like
'cause,
summer. It's like 80 degrees.
oh my God, right? Like my hoo-ha and everything's all sweaty, but I'm like, it's not summer apparently. So here we are. What's new with you?
Not much. Living life, doing the damn thing.
I saw you were on your court TV-ish.
Yes.
What's happening for your court TV appearances now?
This morning we were talking about Diddy. Diddy trial, Aubrey O'Day. Hot in the headlines, Aubrey O'Day revealed she's in New York, but it's not for the Diddy trial. They did not
Really?
ask her to. They didn't ask her to testify.
Do you think she's... Well, I guess we're getting into our hot headlines. Welcome to the Pop Report. If you love the podcast, obviously...
Subscribe.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. All the things.
Yeah, we have lots to cover today. So much to get into. We've obviously been covering this Diddy trial. What did you talk about on Court TV that you can also share here at Lovely the Pop Report?
Yeah, just that Aubrey O'Day, everyone was expecting her to testify. She was in New York for the trial. She was posting on her Instagram stories, teasing. And so she's revealed that she's not in New York for the trial. She's just in New York, conveniently. And she was not asked to testify. That she did speak to Homeland Security at one point, but I guess from that conversation, nothing came of it that they found would be helpful for their investigation, which I guess kind of makes sense because she hasn't been in Diddy's life for a very long time. And she was kind of just one of the girls that was in the band that, that he put together on making the band. So I would imagine she doesn't have too much insight. She probably saw him be like a douchebag or a jerk and probably bully people, but I wouldn't imagine she had a whole lot of insight into the business that he was running because she was cut from the band and hasn't had a relationship with him in a very long time.
Yeah, I wonder because, like, I had a friend, not even a friend, someone I knew back in the day who used to live across the hall from Aubrey O'Day at a building that he was at. And there's a lot of stuff, obviously, because she didn't obviously favor Diddy, all the stuff she had knew or heard about. But I think, like, maybe I'm wrong. Don't directly quote me on this, but a lot of the experiences she's been told about, she has some experiences with Diddy, but she just knows about all of the bad things. I'm sure she experienced a lot of not great things from him. Candid. Like, I don't know necessarily how much of it can be used on the filings that they have on Diddy, though, which is unfortunate. Like, her experiences are a different probably thing that they can't go after for in these charges.
Listen, the relationship that she had to Diddy wasn't that intimate, and most of it we saw on reality TV. So he's not going to show that side of him when there are
No.
cameras on him and when he has a production crew that's following him and he's making a TV show. So I would imagine her experiences with him, maybe he was a tough boss, but I would imagine, there's not a whole lot more that she has aside from the stories that she's heard secondhand, which wouldn't really be admissible in court because at this point it would just be considered hearsay.
Wendy, a lot of these people, they've known for a long time, or whoever else not. I wonder really, truly, who else they're going to try to bring in on this.
Well, we saw Dawn from Danity Kane. She was brought in on all of this. Cassie's mom was just brought in on all of this. I know this is in our legal update, but Cassie's mom testified, and she claims that Diddy made her pay him $20,000 because
Why?
he found out that Cassie had a fling with Kid Cudi. So the money that he spent on Cassie, he wanted a reimbursement for. And so
Are you fucking kidding me?
the
Wow.
mom ended up paying up the money because she said that she was afraid for Cassie's safety.
Hold on. Mom fronts the bill for a reimbursement that shouldn't have happened. I mean, first of all, I get the reason why. She's like, I'm scared for my daughter's safety. Like, but this feels like it feels like coercion, like to just give money or else like it just feels like ransom.
Yeah. Bribery,
Ugh.
extortion.
Yeah. I don't isn't that one of the things they're charging against Diddy is extortion or no?
I believe the civil extortion is part of the racketeering. So racketeering is kind of like a big umbrella charge that says you committed all of these terrible crimes in, an organized effort. So bribery would be under them, coercion would be under that. It would fall under the umbrella of crimes that were being committed.
You really do shine with your legal updates. I will really say that is probably your top tier when people are like, "Oh my god, I know Zach Peter." I'm like, "Yeah, his legal updates." Like,
Wow, that was
you
very nice of you to say. You don't often give me compliments.
oh my god, look, it's a two-way street. No, you do really well in your legal. Like you go Papa goes on court TV, he sits through hours. You do a lot of work when it comes to your legal updates. So you should be happy with like I mean, whenever I'm like, "Ish,
I
what
felt
happened?"
No, I felt like really good because there was an attorney that was on court TV with me today. The host had me and the attorney, and we were both kind of analyzing the Diddy trial. And he was even like, I think we need to give Zach a
A credit.
temporary law degree. He's like, we need to give Zach a temporary law degree because of my analysis on, the whole thing with Aubrey.
You're like, "Call
Um,
me Kim K because I am about to go to that bar exam right now."
I know. I'm feeling Kim K.
Yeah, well, good. You also went on Billy Bush, right?
I
Did you
was on
talk about
Billy
the same
Bush.
stuff?
No, Billy, I talked about Taylor Swift and Blake Lively and their fallout because that's continued to unfold, which actually brings us to our next hot in the headline story about Blake Lively because
Oh
there
my
was
God.
this new expose that just came out. And it's funny because I've known about this for a very long time, way before the Baldoni stuff.
When you say like a long time, is it like 6 months, like a
No, like
year?
years,
Oh,
years.
years.
Um,
Oh, I think I know what you're about to bring up. Okay,
Yep.
continue.
And so she, back in 2014, launched this Goop style company, and it was called Preserve. And it was a lifestyle blog, and they sold
Hmm.
overexpensive stuff. And she was like, I'm going to make, here are my curated recipes, and I'm going to do good, and I'm going to help the people. I'm going to give blankets to all the kids that are cold in the world. And that was like one of her initiatives was to give 2,000 blankets to 2,000 kids that were cold. And so now it's come to light with that company that I guess a big part of the structure of the company was run by her brother Eric. And so her
Hmm.
brother Eric took over. She was more of the face and the creative, and he was more of like the day-to-day mechanics. And so he had a team of staff that he would oversee. But so he moved the company into his apartment, into his New York studio apartment. And
Why do
so
they all
that's
live in
where
New York? That's my question.
so he had all of the staff members that were working out of his apartment, and they said that sometimes they would show up and he would leave them out in the cold because he was sleeping in, or they
The
said that
fuck?
when they said that once they finally got up to the apartment that there was no furniture for them to sit at, that his bed was kind of just there because it was a studio or it was like an open loft concept, and so
Oh,
they would just have to sit there like
on
on
his bed.
no, on the floor. They couldn't even go on he was on the bed, so they could go on they had to go on the floor. They said the apartment reeked of weed, and he was technically married at the time, and is still married is still married currently, I believe, but he was having a sexual relationship with one of the staffers.
You
Um
mean my glasses today are like,
yeah, and so the employees, because Blake was technically the boss, the employees would go to Blake, and at one point they even like organized a meeting with her where they're like, "Listen, this company is being run like total shit, and your brother's not doing his job of like, I guess he
uh,
kind of had the role of like a CEO, but I don't know if that was his official title with the company."
Boston
And
CEO.
she got mad at them, and she's just like, "Leave me alone. I don't need to be bothered with this type of stuff." Like she was annoyed that they were even bringing their grievances to her. So it's just funny the hypocrisy of her now bringing a workplace harassment claim against Justin Baldoni based off of his chaotic, toxic workplace on the set of It Ends With Us, when she herself has
A
been
toxic
the head
workplace.
of a toxic workplace. Yeah. And so they said that paychecks were haphazard. They said that, Eric was just completely mismanaging. I mean, the fact that he was sleeping with one of the staffers and he was
Yeah,
married.
that the marriage, one thing. That's a personal boundary. Sleeping with a staffer, that's a workplace conundrum when you only have a bed and no furniture. Where are you sleeping with her? That's her apartment.
It wasn't.
It's not her. It's not his apartment because there's no furniture.
Well, but it wasn't a her.
Oh,
He's married
as I
to
said,
her.
her as in gay terms, like girl. Where's the girl gonna sleep? Right.
So, yeah, it was not so yummy. And so yeah. And but apparently as the company was like struggling, staff members were being fired, and then eventually they threatened to bring forth workplace harassment lawsuits against Blake Lively. Her publicist, Leslie Sloan, was shutting them down, and Leslie Sloan is now enthralled in all of this legal drama with Justin Baldoni, as she's now being sued herself. But so Leslie Sloan is brought up in the expose as well, saying that she would help with settlements. I think one of the staffers got paid up to like $300,000 to just not sue Blake Lively, and they're like, "Here, just take this money and go away." And so, yeah, it was quite the
Conundrum. Yeah. Damn.
But it's funny because I went back and I looked at her website, and it was very like I don't know, the design and the aesthetic was, the cut described it as a horror film. Like it looked very like Sleepy Hollow. Like whatever you imagine Sleepy Hollow to be was exactly the aesthetic of her Preserve website. It was like very like barn-like, but all black with white text, and then I don't know. It was a very interesting vibe. It was very like gothic in a weird way.
What a
Like,
time.
it was like Farmville gothic.
Oh, wow. Farmville really did go gothic one time. Whatever update they had back in the day, I could see that. But like, so the cut released this.
Back at the time. And so the website only lasted a year before they closed down completely.
But why is it being brought up again right now? Did like another publisher pick up this story, or like?
Yeah, well, there was this expose that came out that's like, it's what a
But
double
who published
standard
that?
of what?
Who published that one?
The Daily Mail published that one, and so now it's getting picked up in other publications. But yeah, so the company was called Preserve, and so they chatted, I think, with four of those. I believe they had a total of 8 staff members, and 4 of them came forward anonymously to.
50% is enough. Even 1 is enough. I mean, 1 is enough. Like, that's, well, you think people learn in this case, but I sometimes think they don't, and maybe.
Well, I just think the higher she climbed, the more she felt she was invincible. Because think about it, if you have all these employees that you're able to kind of just shut up by throwing some money at them, and your publicist is going to shut this down and protect you. I mean, who knows what other things have come up over the last 10 years. But, when you reach this level, and then she had Ryan Reynolds in her court, and, it just continued to blow up from there.
Not in the fun way blow up either.
No, but who's having a good blow up moment right now is Hailey Bieber.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Just on the cover of Vogue, and she's having her moment. But a lot of people are not too thrilled with her hubby, Justin Bieber, who wrote a very strange caption.
When
Did
didn't
you see
he?
This?
When didn't he do that? As I like mumble through this mic with my phlegmy voice.
Oh my God, Zach, what do you think they should do if they love what they're listening to?
They should subscribe. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below for all the latest celebrity news.
And if you're listening anywhere else, leave a review. Or don't.
Or do.
Or do.
Do.
So here, I'll read you the caption. So he wrote, "Yo, this reminds."
Dramatic reading. Yo,
this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy
Prolapse.
and connection.
Oh.
So, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a cover of Vogue, because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
Is this a direct caption from Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this gives Ben Affleck and Jen,
Yo,
like, from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like, that wasn't meant to be public, but, like, I'm sorry, baby. Like, it.
yo,
What?
babe, I'm sorry.
It also
If
sounds like a straight, closeted gay man trying to, like, in your interpretation,
trying to be too hard to, like, yeah.
back it up. It sounds like a Benito Skinner overcompensating situation.
I watched that over the weekend.
Isn't it fucking funny?
Fuck pussy, yeah.
Ugh.
So good.
Daddy, can you carry this? Vanity, my back hurts from my carrying my tits. Like, I can't with some of the one-liners from that show.
It was really funny.
There was a one-liner that had to be removed that I cannot say, that the publicist was like, you need to, on the carpet, she was like, I'm going to have to ask you to not run that. And I was like, some of those really went there, the one-liners. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it when the woman was like on the park bench, the old woman, and the younger woman was like, this is the whatever challenge where there's like, speak up, bitch.
Oh my God.
And she's like, this is why we shouldn't have the right to vote. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't with some of these jabs. But that nurse was also hot as fuck. Good for him.
Yeah, he was.
But did you, I guess we're in watch or skip. Did you have any thoughts of like the entire season of what they could have done better? Or if this was like a no notes season 1 premiere?
It was a really good season 1. It leaves you with a cliffhanger that like left my jaw on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, no, that's where it ends. No, I need more. It was good. It was funny. It was, it pushed the boundaries. It didn't try too hard.
Mhm.
It wasn't like, even though it's a gay show, like it wasn't overly gay.
Nah,
Like
bro.
it was good.
Nah.
It was funny. It was fun.
Yes.
It was, it didn't try too hard, which I feel like a lot of comedies now try a little too hard.
Holmes just takes the cake for me. The girl who is just the ditzy roommate, and like,
Yeah, she was great. She's very Jennifer Coolidge theme.
we had an interview with her for work, and I was on the carpet, and she's like, "Babe, did I do bad?" And I was like, "No, like you did great." She's like, "Okay, please, because I need a job. Like I need a job." And I was like, "Please." Everyone just in every interview was like, Holmes made us break so many times because a lot of the jokes were improvised in there. And so some things made it, some didn't. And there's so many jokes, they were like, we wanted to make this like, fit into the first season. And so I think it was the first time too for me, like whenever there's screeners that come out for work for you and I, we're like, okay, like I'll get to it. You don't always want to watch the full season. This one I was like, I want to rip through this. Like they're so easy to binge. And when we did the interviews, I was like, this is the first time in a while that I know the full story, and I'm gonna ask you everything. So yeah, like Amazon, A24, this was a solid thing. I think the only review I saw that like I can give it to them, The Cut and a few others were like, do we really believe these people are in college? Like these people are in
No,
college.
because they're all old, but that's Hollywood for you. I mean, 90210 had people that were like 34.
It really be like that. But I also got the chance to start watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
How far did you get?
I am at the point where the ex-husband and the separated husband of Taylor and Miranda is a blonde girl who came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole confront situation, and Jen and Ben are having their like roadside talk of like, cut the cameras. We don't want to talk about our relationship anymore. I'm just like, when you and I talked about this before, you're like, this season's actually good. I was like, okay, like when you say good, like good for reality TV or good for the Mormon Wives, I think it's good for both. Like this is the first time I'm like, we have infidelity. We have like rage fights. We have like random ass drama that is stirred from nowhere. I'm going to make them dressed up like Chippendales and be like, bitch, what idea do you think you're having, Jesse? Like everyone is a little messy this season, and everyone is a little random at when they get vulnerable. and I kind of love it. Like it
It's
it is
good.
just bewildering. So yeah.
Good. It's a good season. The first 3 episodes, like just right out the gate with the Halloween party, like everything, just the way it all blows up, and the cops come. Like you have a little bit of levity, you have the drama. Like it's crazy that none of these women really drink. So like you
Yes.
realize
That's the
they're
part you
all
couldn't forget.
sober
This is like
as they're
my
being this
judgment
dramatic.
when I'm sober. Taylor's like, he disrespected me. Everyone's like, Taylor, give an inch. She's like, fuck no, apologize. And it's like, this is just, you kind of don't love everybody in this and at
Yeah,
some point or another. And you're like, but I love watching this.
it's so yummy.
It's gobsmacked,
Well,
full of people.
that was what overcompensating, Secret Lives. Did you watch anything else?
You know, I'm trying to get to a couple things on my docket. I'm trying to watch Another Simple Favor because I feel
Mm.
like my duty is to do that at this point. Obviously, we watched Final Destination together recently.
Oh yeah,
The
now it's
new,
finally out.
yeah, the new season of Big Mouth premieres this upcoming Thursday, Friday. And so I'm covering the carpet for that. And for all of you who've been asking for more, like we can't make a podcast every day. We're trying to share with you a couple different things of like when we go on assignments, when we go like do specific things. You guys probably noticed that I'm sharing some stuff from EDC on the account when this episode goes up. But you know, like there's just a lot of TV and film stuff. I feel like we got so many invites to that
Hmm.
like watch or skip really is what the fuck did we watch and what do we actually want to watch?
I know, and but there's also like a lot of good stuff that we're watching lately too.
Only bangers. Like
Yeah, I
I
feel like I haven't watched anything that's kind of been lame. I saw people were a bit torn about Final Destination, but I liked Final Destination. I thought it was
why are
great.
people torn?
I don't know. Some people were like the opening scene was really good, but the rest of the movie was kind of meh. But I actually really enjoyed. I thought as a Final Destination fan, I enjoyed it. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes is saying about it. Rotten Tomatoes is giving it. Wow, tomato meter is 92 and the popcorn meter is 88. That's
That's pretty
solid.
good. I will say the only one that kind of maybe was meh for me is too like on the nose is the backyard scene. You know, like you
Well,
can kind
only
of expect it, but the hospital one, fuck me up. That took
yeah.
the scene. That took the cake.
The hospital one was the best kill. Every movie has a good kill, just like the logs from season. Did you see? I think Mike posted on his Instagram that they had a
The
log
log
truck
truck.
that was driving around Los Angeles promoting the movie.
And everyone's like, we ain't going to sit behind that. And it was like a decal, so you can obviously tell it's not real logs, but it's just like,
It was so funny.
it was fun. I like how they brought back a lot of elements from the other Final Destinations.
Yeah,
But
most
yeah,
people said that they didn't understand that they didn't feel like this movie tied everything together. But like the whole point of this movie was to tie everything together, and that's why that was the whole like importance of the book was it shows all the other death scenes over the years. It shows that like all of those were all connected to this one big,
happy
incident that
family. Oh,
happened.
yeah. Well, what a time. What a fucking time. Well, a couple other things, obviously, we have to get into in this podcast. We haven't even touched our music news. We kind of skipped around today. That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like, candidly, our music mayhem's been a little sleepy, but at the same time, it's been like a little lustrous, like with something here and there. But it's just, I feel like Katy Perry news, like left and right every time.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, though, because I'm sure everyone needs a minute to recover from Katy Perry, I also want to tell you I did go to EDC this weekend.
Yes, you did.
Bitch, you ever just feel like you have the weight of the world just hit you like a bus? Try going to an EDM festival 3 days and just like let life slap you backhanded, front-handed in the face every single day. Let me tell you, I feel like this year has been my music festival work-centric coverage. I did Coachella. We talked about that. I did a few other stuff. I have World Pride coming up, which is a music festival this year. And I just did EDC in Las Vegas. I hurt so bad physically. Now, I was lucky every day, did not have any issue getting to the festival first 2 days. Last day, fuck me up. Took me 2.5 hours to get into the damn festival going 10 miles. I felt like this was a repeat of Coachella parking and shit. I saw people waited 15 hours for camping. Good luck to them. I don't know who are ravers, but if you are, please get some sleep. These sets go till 5, 6 in the morning.
They don't get sleep because they're just rolling the entire time.
I can't even think about doing drugs at a place like this. I'm barely holding on sober. I'm barely holding on when I'm drinking. It's just like I'm already exasperated by the amount of noise and the amount of ka-chung, like everything. Our lovely friend Mike was my friend I got to work with throughout this time. And I was doing interviews. My last day at What's Trending, my publication, was
now it's
for this.
done.
Yeah, now is my last assignment. It was wild. Like, obviously, I did this last year, but every year you have different guests, different artists. This year, our lovely friend Mike hooked it up, and he's like, "Hey, are you free in 10 minutes to go do this lustrous dinner? I know you can cover it. You're really good at live social. There's this dinner." Honey, those tickets were expensive. It was a whole show, a performance, a dinner. They poured shots in your mouth while you had the dinner. They're like, Jameson or tequila? And I was like, you think I'm going to take a warm Jameson shot right now at this table?
Well, also, but Jameson, you normally drink. I mean, you can normally drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's more of a mixer liquor, or it's more of like it's not like yeah.
It is a crazy place. You can get helicopter rides to the festival. You can get like the black car service that you love so much.
Why didn't you do? I know. I always ride everywhere I go now is black car. But like, why didn't you ride the helicopter to the festival?
You know what? Maybe next year. That wasn't hooked up for me. That was not arranged. I would like to do that next year. I watched every night the fireworks show. I don't know how much goddamn money they spend, but it has to be $1 million every night for that fireworks show. Every night at 1:41, 1:45, 1:47, some bitch is lighting off fireworks. I was barely getting into the festival at like 8 every day, 9 p.m. I was like, it's 2 a.m. I'm still here at the NASCAR track. Nuts. Crazy. I think I saw maybe 2 or 3 sets every night because I was like running around doing shit. Holy Copacabana. Like, drove also 6 hours leaving from Vegas, which I think maybe next year I might fly. It just hurts. My back and body hurts. You're like, when are you going to post stuff? And I'm like, girl, count the girl meter. I have so much to share today, tomorrow, the next day that I'm just like, I was like, I'm just going to let this all stockpile through the week. I have one job now, one job only, plus all these clips, plus to share shit for the podcast. And Papa's going to sleep. And that I slept, took an edible, sat and watched Mormon Wives.
Mormon Wives is great. I mean, that's what you need after that is to recover with like a good binge.
Have you ever also had like those blowfish or like tablets, whatever you put in water? It's like for hangovers, for whatever. Bitch, they taste horrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's salt water.
It's like asinine. It shocked me. We're like driving there, sitting in traffic, like, might as well drink this, try to feel better. I feel like garbage. But I did go to a really cool dispensary. They hooked it up. There is a really cool place in Vegas for any girls who are listening in this. If you want to go to Vegas, Planet 13, that was a work assignment. We went, covered that. And if you're looking to get high before you go on the Vegas Strip, Mike Tyson had a little booth at his table, like was signed. And so we sat in the Mike Tyson booth or like VIP room. They give you like joints, edibles, weed-infused cocktails, big-ass, beautiful Wiz Khalifa designed gravity bong. Wow. I was just like, I feel like I'm in weed heaven, like Snoop Dogg attire. Like, it was great. I was like, wow, I could take a black car and just be like, girls, we're going out in style tonight. If we didn't have to drive to the festival, I'd be like, let's just have a good time.
Let's just have a good time.
But yeah, I had a good time. But music festivals, I'm tapped out. I'm really tapped.
Exhausting. I mean, you did Coachella and you didn't do Stagecoach, right?
Yo, no yeehaw. Nope.
EDC. Yeah, that I don't do festivals. Especially like people that do the rounds and they go to Coachella and then they go to Stagecoach and then they go to EDC. First of all, I'm like, where do you get the money to be going to all these things back to back to back? And two, how is your body not exhausted?
Well, work, obviously, we had tickets comped and like that's how, thankfully, the girls were like, how can Andy go? Be like, well, work is different. And there were a couple of things there that, like, they had 10 stages. They had a drag, like, bar built. Honey, that had the best show. They had a chapel you can get married. They had a game show for,
Did you
like,
get
dating.
married?
You bring up all your straight friends and mark them up in the audience. It's like a dating game. They had a lot of really cool stuff there, I will admit. Salvage City dinner. That was like a $2,000 plus experience for all the people we had. But, like, damn. You really can spend money at festivals, and that is not the name of my game. So
Oh, I bet.
next year, maybe I'll get a helicopter ride. But last year I went for 2 days. This year I went for 3, and I was like, maybe 2 days is my limit.
We're supposed to have elevator rides here in LA for the
Elevator?
Olympics. Or sorry, helicopter rides.
I was like, elevator to where?
That's what they're gonna do now. Oh, I just realized I live in downtown, so we have all the landing pads. So it's probably gonna
Left
be
and
a
right.
bitch here during the Olympics.
It gonna be a bitch. It really gonna be a bitch.
Man.
Man, might as well move out of downtown, Zach.
Well, yeah. Who knows if I'll still be in downtown by then?
You got a few years. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's my coverage of festival news for you all. While I was at this festival, I also was like, I'm in Vegas. What Vegas residencies are happening? I was like, oh my God, Katy Perry.
Oh, and
I
did you
forgot
go?
I forgot about the Katy Perry residency, and a couple others like had passed because I was like, oh my God, Resorts World, we're passing it. Wasn't that where Katy Perry was? And conveniently, there's a story going around about Katy Perry saying she's not welcome at Resorts World anymore. This is a rumor. I don't know, but like it's alleged that Resorts World lost money on this venture with the Katy Perry play like residency. There was a article I saw being passed around on Instagram of it costing $700,000 to $900,000 a night for Katie's, let's call it like ticket of her performance of her fee. And so I think when I saw this article, they were like, the bidding war happened and this wage it just cost too much. She didn't fill this venue. At the same time, Katy Perry this week had a wardrobe malfunction while on tour. And when she was running on stage, I'm sure you've seen the viral video of her running. That's like
Yeah.
campy. But this time the back of her top actually snapped and she caught it while she was running. She's like, can you imagine? Y'all see that? Like, this tour has more social moments than.
But they're not good moments. Like
I didn't say they were good. I said they're social moments.
she's in her like cringe. Like what era would we call this for Katy Perry?
She's in her figuring it out era. This is
It's
witness
not-
part 2. She also talked to someone in the crowd who was like near the front of stage. I don't know if this was a joke. I don't know what necessarily, but she was like, you're the guy who keeps DMing my husband. And was like, I'm going to remove you if you keep DMing my husband. Yeah, like it was crazy. I've just been so much like encapsulating Katy Perry news. Carrie Patty. It's just been like nuts. Nuts.
Poor
So
Katy. She's in
this is
her flop era is what they call it.
yeah. So this is the article. Katy Perry tells fan to stop DMing my man. Seriously, get your own. Yeah, it was at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas because she's on her tour, and that's why she was there, and that's why I thought about Katy Perry for a hot second. I was like, what was the reason? And she jokingly accused this fan during like the song "I'm His, He's Mine,"
Yes.
and
He's
she said, "Cute grin. I know why you're here, but it's like, is this for real? Like, is this not like either way? It was kind of cringy." I don't know. But
Everything she's doing lately is cringy. Her moves, her graphics, like all of it just is not her outfits.
I don't
It's
know.
like it's not camp in a cute like Katie was always good at doing camp in a cute way, and this is just like it is a very cringe tour.
I
As
mean,
much
I
as
guess
I like Katie, and Katie, I was all about Katie, and lately I'm just like, oof, send her back to space.
yeah. So this fan's name was Kyle. He's been apparently DMing her. That's what she said on stage. Like, you've been DMing him since the residency. Which there are a lot of super fans who pay those tickets like really up close. And according to Kyle, he was in on like this joke He said, quote, "This all started because I asked Katy to sing my favorite deep cut, and I may have had to call in Orlando for some assistance." But it's just weird because you're like, what? Like, you're trying to make a moment out of this. It's play on, but it's like, is this real or not? And he's like, now I have the concert memory of a lifetime, but he also said, let's hope she forgives me for DMing her man and allows me back to her next show. So, like, not serious, but it's just there's moment after moment, like, on this tour that I'm like, what are we doing? Like, regardless of the joke, you don't DM a fan being like, you DM'd my man. You've been doing it. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really just can't. I used to be a real big Katy Perry fan. We played Waking Up in Vegas when we drove into Vegas, but we were like, ooh, this is when things were different.
That was when she was at like right before she really took, because that was her first album, the I Kissed a Girl album, right?
Yes.
One of the boys. Yeah. That was a good album. And then she had, and Prism, I feel like, was her last good album. And I don't remember anything after that. When she had the Swish Swish album, I didn't really care for that. She, like, kind of started to take a dip. But Taylor Swift's trying to save her discography. So fans have been speculating that she's going to be releasing Reputation, Taylor's version.
Yes.
Soon. She's supposed to be
the
making
best
a
one,
big
in my
announcement.
opinion.
I agree. I didn't realize the Swifties don't like Reputation.
They don't.
It's one of her least favorite, like, fan favorite albums, which I was like, I loved Reputation. That was
I think
my
we talked
favorite
about this in
Taylor
one
album.
episode. I was like, it was a banger time. I remember being in college and like watching the Look What You Made Me Do music video debut on my iPhone.
Look What You Made Me Do.
We were all around the dining room table as roommates, all four of us. We didn't love each other the most, but
it was great. But anyway, speaking of Look What You Made Me Do, it just appeared in the new episode for The Handmaid's Tale, because obviously they're in their final season. And so Taylor's version of Look What You Made Me Do was featured. I think like a full 2-minute version of it was featured in The Handmaid's Tale. And some fans are like, oh my God, does this mean that Reputation, Taylor's version, is going to be dropping? Because now they're expecting her. Is it the AMAs that's coming up? They're expecting her to make an announcement for her next album. And some people are like, is it going to be Reputation, or is it going to be a new album? And some people are speculating, or some of the Swifties are speculating, that it's going to be an album named Karma, because she's been teasing something about karma for like the last 5 years. So some fans are thinking it's either going to be the Karma album or it's going to be Reputation, Taylor's version. And so now that we have this Look What You Made Me Do version that was featured in The Handmaid's Tale, some people are thinking that maybe it's a sign that Reputation, Taylor's version is what she's going to be announcing.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of has to. Well, she also had Tortured Poets, and Tortured Poets was not in her classic Taylor's version discography. So I don't know what she's going to be announcing, but fans are looking forward to it. But they weren't too happy with the Look What You Made Me Do Taylor's version. Some of them are kind of torn because they feel like it doesn't really. And I listened to it and I watched the clip that people posted online. It doesn't have that same hit. And I think it's because the original producer isn't working on Taylor's version. So her versions are slightly different, and there's just like a beat that's off with this Taylor's version.
I've noticed that sometimes with the new stuff that she's done, it's not going to sound the same. She's older. She recorded at a different time.
But even just like the layover and I don't know all the technicalities of
the layering,
producing, but like you can just tell it's missing some layers, and fans even feel like the way she delivers the lines doesn't slap as hard as when she did the first time.
Got me there.
I don't know.
Got me there, but it was a banger of an album.
It was banger of an album. I enjoyed it.
I will say that was like a banger. Like, even though it was not obviously a good timing for her and like life and whatever she looks back at now, bangers. I wonder if her and Harry Styles will team up on something.
I think they should.
Out of the Woods was obviously like about him.
Out of the Woods, yeah.
But I had this speculation. I don't know. The back of my gut feels that her and Harry are going to work on one of the Reputation songs together, and like she's going to have someone featured, whether it's Harry, someone from the past that the songs are about, to create some speculation and like maybe maybe some heat off of her right now with this whole like Blake Lively stuff. I think that right now she's like, I need a W. I need a W to get me out of this court.
Yeah, I think she wants to be removed from that. Like, I was even thinking, I was like, what was worse for her? The Kanye Kim drama? Remember when Kim posted on Snapchat
Yeah.
the clip of Kanye getting her permission for Famous? And that like really blew up and made her look bad, which is what inspired Reputation. And so now I'm just curious as to what like is this worse? I feel like this Blake Lively drama is 10 times worse with her threatening to release the text messages and her asking to delete messages, and it's just
Not good.
wild.
Yeah. Well, what a time. What a freaking time. Well, obviously, for like the pop report, you're going to hit that button. Don't know where you are sucking dick on your Tinder date, but you're doing it.
Ding.
And we have lots more to get into in many episodes. We're about to hit 100. We have a couple fun things planned for you all.
Woo.
Yeah. So, Zach, you want to leave with anything?
Subscribe and leave a comment and continue to support the Pop Report. Let's get us to 100. If you don't subscribe, then we might not make it to 100. So
We
subscribe.
will, $1 a day. If each and every one of you donate $1, who knows what Zach would do with his life?
More Uber Black.
Because of that Uber One purchase, I can now get a discounted Uber Black, so it pays the same as an Uber X.
Boom.
Well, we'll see y'all soon.
Bye.